Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Welcome, Bara. You are number one. Frankie, you're number two. Yes, I am well today. I hope everyone is having a good day. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let me just turn off this music. Okay. Baram, Frankie says that you're stealing her thunder. Frankie, you have to be on it. You're gonna have to get on it. You have a little bit of competition there. And everyone else driving to the music, or just me? I always drive to the music. So anyway, let's get started. So here's a key to my house. So your partner offers you a key to their house. Do you have to reciprocate? Um, you know, I've had conversations over the years about this issue with some of my friends, and um, I actually got into a debate probably about 7 years ago with a group of people, and it was actually kind of funny. We all ended up laughing, whatever, but you have that one person who you're in a relationship, and when you look at relationships, you know, at what point, if you've gone out maybe two or three times, does that mean you're dating? Um, if you're, going out five or six times, does that mean that you're dating? If you spend the night over, your partner's house, you know, um, where is the relationship? So when that one person, either man or woman, says, "Hey, here's a key to my house," and you take it, but then they're kind of standing there looking at you. Are you supposed to say, "Okay, well, here's the key to my house"? At what point, um, do you give the person that key? Because some people say that when you give a person a key to your house, you're giving them full access to your life. Um, because at home, we have things that may be laying around, we put in closets, whatever. I mean, our life is in our home. Who we are is in our home. So when you invite someone in on that level, and I'm not talking about someone that should just, they spend the night or they come over for the evening and then they leave. But when you give someone access to your home, they're in your home. They're walking around your house. They're seeing things that you probably would not want them to see. And you are giving them access to your life. So when should you do that? Or should you do that? And I guess you can say it all depends upon the type of relationship you have. But you know, I, I've had, like I said, I've had conversations with friends where you know, one person ended up breaking up with her boyfriend because she refused to give him a key. And he, said, "Well, you have a key to my house," and she gave it back. And he got upset and he wanted to live with her. She didn't, you know. And he really took offense to that, and she took offense that he took offense. So they ended up ending it. So should you cross that threshold? Should you give your partner a key to your house? Because again, they say when you give someone the key to your house, you're giving them access to your life. So That's all I have to say on the subject for now, because I know you guys are going to say something that's going to make me say even more. So I've sent some invites out, and if you guys want to pop on, you are more than willing. If not, I can keep talking. Oh, Chill. What do you have to say? I know you came in towards the end of my little soapbox thing there, but what do you have to say?
With the keys to the house, I did come in towards the end, but I mean, I this is, I'm a fella, so I get this a lot. When you put it down, first of all, when you put it down, that comes with putting it down. Like that's gonna happen after a couple months. You done put it down. She like, I'm tired of getting up and having to come to the apartment building or something. That's be the excuse. I'm tired of having to get up in the middle of the night when you get off work and come down. Just take the key. That's just how it happens. I don't typically. I think it's just you fall into it when you kind of get together and you do things. And that's how it works. So I'm not
Okay,
opposed to it because it makes things easier, but it does
okay,
come with stuff.
okay, but let me ask this. So you're offering the key to your partner, to your house. Does that mean that she automatically has to give you the key to hers?
Oh no,
Is
I
it
don't give
something
it to her.
that you expect?
I'm not, I don't give my key out to nobody unless we together. So
But
I ain't doing it.
but you're not answering my question. Do you expect her to reciprocate and give you her key?
No, I I wouldn't take nobody. I don't even take the key in that kind of spirit. Like I'm not giving my key away, so I wouldn't do that. If I'm giving my key away, that means because she live here. Is what I'm saying. If it's gonna be both of ours.
Okay,
It's gonna be
so
both of ours.
okay, so again, you're not answering my question. You're saying if you okay, so she has to live with you. So basically, then you're saying you have to give up your apartment or your house or whatever and come live with me because that's the only way you're going to get a key.
To my house? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. If we together, yeah, that's it. That's it.
So she can't just keep her apartment.
I mean, if we together. I mean, I don't know. I typically, when I make that commitment, it's all the way. So I date for a long time. So I can. I mean, you not get my key unless we together, and we typically
Okay.
gonna be living together. I
Okay.
mean,
So
that's
if
just how
she
it works.
offers you her key and you all have just been dating for just a little bit and she says, "Hey, chill, here here's a key to my house." You would not automatically give her yours unless she, like you said, she is living with you.
Yeah, typically I don't even like to take keys, but when they got a point, I mean, just to make things easier, if like that's typically when I get a key. I don't feel like it's a reason. Well, I need you to help me out with this. There's a reason they'll give it to me. I'm not gonna ask for it though, and I'll let them know. Like, listen, I really don't want it, but they kind of cocks me. I feel like that's a thing. I don't know if it's a thing. I need to be asking y'all women that. Is that a thing that rope us in? Because I really feel like I'm pretty sure it is, but and that's why they don't mind giving it because they're like, all right, well, I'm roping them in slowly, so I don't mind not him not giving me
Chill,
my key.
you are asking the wrong person because I would not give up keys and I would not, ask for a key. I don't want to live with you. I don't want you living with me. So you're asking the wrong woman. You have to ask somebody else. But
Mm.
but at the same time, I know some men who have said, here's a key, and then they've been offended. Before you came on, I was telling about a friend of mine who ended up breaking up with her boyfriend because her boyfriend, offered a key to his house, and she didn't want to give him a key to hers, and she didn't want to live with him, and he got really upset, and they broke up. So
Mm.
so I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna pass on to Boss. So, Barham, thank you for waiting patiently. What do you have to say? Do you agree with Chill, or you have your own opinion, or
I'm too open and laid back. So I would, I'd be given a key as well if it made sense. Like I'm an open book. I would even give family members a key to my apartment in the
oh
hope that
no
they
no
went
no
over
no no
there
no.
and in the hope that they went over there and cleaned it for me or something. But
No. Family's a whole different subject there. Go ahead.
I know, but even like for here's an example, like when we were having new carpets put in, the workmen were like phoning me and saying, "Look, when can we go up?" And I was willing to leave a key under the bucket, and they could have went and done the job while we were at work. And my wife was like, "No, you don't do that." And I'm like, I'm just too trusting because I just think these guys are being paid to do their job. They're not going to go stealing anything or anything like that. I'm just so laid back and trusting. It is to a fault as well, but in regards to a relationship, if it made sense, like if it was beneficial to give a key, I wouldn't expect a key back. If I don't think it would even hurt me at all because I think it's the gentlemanly thing. If it helps the woman in any way, if she could have a key to in my apartment, um, so be it. And I just don't see it being an issue where I would feel that hurt in any way if she didn't reciprocate. Um, yeah, so that's my opinion.
Yeah, I would say you are probably a bit too trusting, and again with the whole family thing. So
Mm.
that brings up another question. So, Chill, I'm gonna go back over to Chill. So, what about family? Would you give family a key to your house?
Oh yeah. I don't think first and foremost, Byron. That's a good quality. It'll never change. I don't think that's a bad thing. You just got to live with the goods and bads of it, and just kind of be smart. But I think that's a good to be trusting to some degree to see good. There's nothing wrong with that. But you just don't want to be naive, right? So, to some degree, depending on who it is, I'm like that with until they mess it up. So, with family, I'm depth. Oh yeah, I got too much family that I know. Like I know my family. We grew up together. We've done everything. So I know them inside and out. So my mom or my sister or my brother they probably got the keys now. Like all of them. I mean, if I gotta give them keys, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So certain people they'll get my car, whether it's my car, extra spare my car. If I got locked out somewhere, I'll give it to them just so I can get to come. But then you need somebody to go to the house and pick something up when you need it. That's yeah, I don't care. I mean, my immediate
Okay.
family, all of them can have my key.
All right. So, what do you think when they say that when you give someone a key to your house, your life becomes an open book? Do you think that's true?
Well, if they walk in my house and they find me doing something, that's on them. I'm like, hey, some coffee, the Pepsi in the fridge. No, that wouldn't happen though because we have respect for each other. So that we will let each other know, like we just won't be frolic. Like that doesn't happen in my family. That just doesn't. Like we don't
Well,
have
no,
those
no, no,
type of
no, no,
issues.
no, no. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about your family. I'm talking about your if it was a significant
Oh, that too. That's what you get.
other. Okay.
I'm a firm believer. If you go looking for something, if you do something like that, and hey, that's you run a risk of doing that. If you that type of person, you get what you deserve. You go looking for something, you gonna find it most of the time. So, not that I wouldn't be sorry. I wouldn't do nothing like that in the first place, typically, because if I'm committed, I'm committed. And if I give somebody a key to my apartment, that means I'm all in. So therefore, it wouldn't nothing be crazy be happening, but you know, I, yeah, I don't mind. I
But
mean,
okay, so do
I
you
don't
think
mind.
that there should be some things that that couples should, I mean, not necessarily should, but if they wanted to keep private and then that person went to snoop or whatever. I mean, w-
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I
yeah.
get what I get it. So I'm a firm believer that I don't just because it doesn't mean anything if you don't tell me everything. I mean, if you just, I mean, unless there's something just devious about it, but you don't have to tell me everything. I mean, some things you're allowed to keep some things to yourself. It's okay. I mean, I don't need to know every single thing. Um, if I feel like your heart is good and your intentions are good, that's all I need to know. I know every detail. That's something. Oh, you didn't tell me. I'm not one of those type of people. Well, you didn't ask. Oh, I'm still offended because you should have told me. Like now, you'll never have me that arguing with me because I'm just not worried about that. Unless it's pertinent to our health or lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Or you just didn't disclose it on purpose, and I asked. Yeah, but I don't care about all that other stuff.
Okay. All right. Bob, what about you? Do you think that giving someone the key is giving them access to your life?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, like Chill said, if you come into my house, it's like you're not going to find much. I think that's probably a question that I'd be thinking. And I mean, it's how do I phrase it? Like because I'm so laid back, and I would not think twice of giving my grandmother or my mother at one point or my sister the keys to my house, because I know that they're not going to just wander over there when I'm at work and snoop around or do anything mean. Um, so then why wouldn't I? Like if it helps me in any way, like Chill said, like collect a package or nip over to do something that needs done, then I wouldn't see a problem in it. In regards to our relationship, in the early days, I wouldn't be offering the key up, uh, willy nilly, just, after a couple of weeks or months. Um, but certainly if it made sense and you trusted, there was strong feelings there, then yeah, I would, because I feel like there's nothing there to hide. So I would then turn the question on people who don't want to dish out keys. Is like, what are you hiding? Like, why not? And maybe it's not that you're hiding something. And listen, people have every right to hold back on that. But I would just be more intrigued as to why.
Okay. All right. Crazy lady, thank you for waiting patiently. Let's get a female point of view. What do you think?
Um, I don't see. My dad and my brother had key to my house, and I had keys to their. I still have my brother's keys to like all his vehicles in his house still. So like family, yeah, we always had, because I'm your family. But like boyfriends or something like that, I don't know. When they earned the key, then maybe they could have one,
So when you
But
say earn, how do they earn a key?
well, if I trust them, I mean, yeah, you have to earn my trust in order to have a key to my house. So
So when you're dating someone, how long does it have to be before that key is offered?
I don't know. There's some guys that never got a key.
Okay. Well, on a typical, I mean, what would you say would be the typical amount of time that someone should wait
I
before
don't
they
know.
offer keys? I
I
mean, and
don't know. Just
I know it depends upon the relationship, but you can
yeah,
be head over heels in love with each other in a week. Doesn't mean you're going to give them a key, on day 8. So
yeah, no. It just I have to trust a person. That just I don't know. Yeah. And as for like I don't know, my brother he would go through everything I own just to be nosy because he's nosy that way. But if he finds what he finds, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, people's given me their house keys, but I don't. Anytime I've had that privilege, I don't like go in there and rummage their shit. I just go and do what I have to do and then leave, whether it be feed their dogs or water their plants or whatever.
okay, okay, all right. So, Jill, so when you say that you're in a committed relationship, so is there a time stamp on when you should usually give your partner a key?
Well, this is a complex question because it goes into the time is when it's good to like introduce certain personal things, right, to your mate or partner. Um, it's no specific time. It's always about being comfortable and trust, obviously. But I mean, I've gotten a key literally like that. Which that scenario you just spoke of, that was literally I've been in that scenario on more than one occasions.
Are you
Just that's
serious? That
yeah, like
fast?
Yeah, like it's like, hey, here, take. I'm like, dang. So that's a red flag, right? She like, damn, I'm trying to get up out of here. Get up out of here. She ready. She ready for Sweet Willie. She waiting for Sweet Willie to be stepdaddy already. I, I don't know. So that's you gotta watch out for. 8 days for sure. Like I can have a specific person in my head I just got off the phone with earlier. That was like that I still kind of involved with the children, which is another show in itself. But yeah. So yeah, it's no specific time frame. You just got to be comfortable. But I'm not giving my key out. They know no one has ever had my key except the person that I was in relationships with. I can think, So
So, okay, so let me ask this. So, when you're not in those relationships anymore, do you get the key back or do you change your locks?
I get a key back. Listen, this is the thing. A key is a blessing and a curse at times in a relationship because I don't have keys on purpose unless it's a real inconvenience for them. That's the only time I really take a key because they'll offer it to me like in that 8 day scenario. She offered to me. I'm like, oh heck, I'm good. And matter of fact, that's a red flag. You almost out the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm one foot in, one foot out because I'm thinking something going on. As you get older, not so much because people ready to get their thing, life alone. But yeah, I mean, I, eh, I don't. Me personally, it's just not. I'm personally not. I'm not doing
Okay. All right. Byram, same question. When do you think is a significant amount of time or typical time that you should give up that key?
I would say at least past the love stage. But there's no real time limit on that. Everyone's different. But I certainly wouldn't be dishing out to someone that I didn't, have strong feelings for. And like I said in one of my earlier comments, I wouldn't feel like that she had to feel pressured in giving me her key in return. I think that's, obviously, I also think there is something in there with like woman things and like being more protectful or whatever it is. Um, the gentleman would maybe not pressure her or feel any. Well, I certainly wouldn't feel any, hurtful. I wouldn't be hurt if she didn't, give me her key. And maybe a different way I'd explain it, like the L word, like if you say you love someone, I think that could also be in the same category where if you say it and you don't get it back, that one would maybe hurt more than the key. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, now see, Vi, you just opened up a whole different can of worms here.
Sorry.
Okay, and
Sorry.
no, that's okay because I think we talked about this once on another show. But now you're talking about that L word. So you tell someone that you love them, um, you know, do people automatically? I mean, do people have to say it back just because you're saying it to them? Um, why do people expect that someone else is supposed to say I love you too?
I don't know. I think it's an automatic feeling. Like I can see that if with the key as well, the key and L word, if you put your heart on the line with either one of those two things and you don't receive the same back, your gut and your heart is like you feel it. Like I've been in that situation where I've went out on a limb and said the L word, and you're waiting and waiting, and like if you don't get it back, you almost feel like, oh, I'm so embarrassed, and it's not something you can help. It's like a natural thing that happens to us. So, but it's just how you handle that situation, and some people could, it could end up a bad situation, and they might not be able to handle it well, or you respect their decision and you wait it out and you do the gentlemanly thing. In my instance, that's what I would do because everyone's different. It takes everyone different amount of times to feel like they can trust a person or feel like they love a person. So there shouldn't be any pressure for definite. There's no if I heard of anyone complaining to me that they went out on a limb and gave someone their key or told them they loved them, and they were mad about it, I would certainly sit them down and say, look, you can't be that way. You have the problem. Your attitude is not in the right place. Like, you need to wait for the other person to feel the same way. So yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Crazy lady. What about that love word? You he says, I love you, and you don't say it back, or vice versa. You say it to him. Are you expecting that I love you back? You there, crazy lady? Hello, crazy lady. You there? Okay, I'm going to go to Ziller. Welcome, Ziller. What do you have to say?
Um, First of all, welcome. Hey. Um,
Hello.
I can't read the rest of the topic to tell you the truth.
No, basically, it's just your partner offers you a key to their house. Do you have to reciprocate?
I don't think so. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to. That's their business. I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go and see what's in their house. That's my opinion.
Okay, and what about that love word? You say you love them, but they don't say it back. Do you get upset?
No, 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 I wouldn't get mad.
Okay, all
I,
right,
I, I say it comes in. I say it comes in time. It will come sooner or later.
okay, all right.
Hopefully, I guess.
Hopefully, hopefully, all right. Okay. Well, I'll pass the mic on over to Chill. I didn't ask you the love thing. So what about you? You say you love them. They don't say it back or vice versa. Do you get upset?
Uh, yeah, the love thing. Well, you know what? The quick thing on the key thing, I've learned that the key thing can be a bargaining chip or like a thing to hang over your head. So keep my key back. Get the hell out of my house. You know what I'm saying? When they mad, that's another reason why I like taking keys. I just meant I had to get that out of my way. 'Cause that's huge.
No,
You know that's
you have a good point. That is a good point.
and so that's another reason why I don't like taking keys initially. And so when people I feel like they're like that, um, I just don't even want I kind of steer away from them. I also find that the same person that's like that is the same person that's going to tell you I love you quickly, um, and that's uh can be a red flag for me. You know what I mean? But you can't help how you feel, so I got to be cognizant of others people's feelings, and I just feel like you don't have to say it back. Everybody, let's be real. Everybody wants to hear it back. If you say you love somebody, everybody wants to hear it back, but it's just not it's not necessarily expected. I'm gonna say how I feel. I don't. However you feel is how you feel. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but
But when you
hey,
expect them that, okay, maybe they don't say it that same night. Maybe they don't say it the next day. But do you expect them to say it somewhere down the road, and when they don't, is that a problem for you?
I mean, if it takes that long for them to say that, I mean, you probably won't be down the road, right?
True. True.
So
True. Okay. So, but when you say I love you to someone, um uh wouldn't you say it at a time when you're kind of hoping that those feelings are going to be returned?
absolutely. But what if it's like in a lot of my cases, like I said, it could be during sex or a week you know, you week into it, you're having sex. Oh, I love you. The crazy stuff. I want you to have my baby. Like you're like, oh, it's time to go. Like it's all right. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Red flag. So they may expect for you to say the same thing back because of what they're feeling, but at the end of the day, it's just like, nah. This is not to say I don't care, but this is getting a little bit too deep. You know what I'm saying? And me, like this is a couple of weeks. I know you a month. You know, and I just went through this not too long ago as well. 3 months where, hey, I don't know. what are we? Like it's 3 months. We trying to figure some stuff out, and we supposed to be about to get married. Like, nah, I'm not. They fast tracking stuff, so it's. I don't know. You expect them people expect. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm expressing my feelings. I'm big on. I'm gonna do me. I'm not gonna worry about what everybody else think. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna express myself, and if you don't feel the same, that's fine. It can be a sign, a telling sign, but it's okay.
Okay. Everyone, I know I have more people coming on, but I go around the room. So if you can just be patient, but I will get to everyone. I absolutely promise. Bah, so what do you think about that love thing in terms of what Chill said? I mean, do you, if it doesn't come back to you, and do you end the relationship if you said, that you love them, and do you end the relationship?
No, no, I've already answered that one. For me, it's everyone's. It would hurt me, like if I said it and the other person didn't say it back, it would hurt, but only for a couple of days. Like, and it wouldn't be like I would be thinking about it all the time. It would be like kind of, I'd be at work the next day and I'd be like thinking about it and be like embarrassed in like a little bit. But I wouldn't end the relationship, or that I think that's an extreme thing to do. You
I
just
mean,
have to
so you
wait
would
till.
stay, okay, but when you say you have to wait, how long are you gonna wait? What if they never say it?
Oh,
What
well,
what if it's always like, "Oh, I like you too," or, "I
okay.
really like you," but they never get to that love word?
Yeah, well, I'm speaking about, a few months in. Like normally, I that's the kind of limit for me is
Okay.
2, 3 months in, and you're saying you love, feelings if you're with each other a lot. But I mean, if it was like 6, 7 months down the line and there was still no reply, you would almost start assuming that maybe this person's not emotionally attached, and there's not, the intention isn't there for them. So I mean, you have to talk about those things as well. um some people just want, casual relationships and fun, and it depends where you are, but I'm sure those kind of conversations should start very early, especially as you get older. I remember when I was listening to my philosophy shows, and the guy that I listened to for years said that he was once on a date and he asked on the first date, "Look, I want to have kids one day. What do you think?" And it's like I'm cringing, thinking, "Do you say those things?" And his attitude was, "Look, I'm not wasting my time. I was in my late 20s or 30s at the time. I'm not going to waste my time. I need to set my cards on the table." And I kind of admired it, but at the same time, I could never say that on a first date. But
No.
it is, I don't knock it. If you can say it, then why not? Be confident in who you are. Why, like I'm saying, it's not like wasting time, as in because he was getting on. He was still in his late 20s, early 30s. But um, why waste your time on more dates with someone that you're never going to, they don't have the same intentions as you. So yeah.
Okay. Crazy lady, are you there? Okay, I do believe she probably stepped away. Ziller, what do
Yeah.
you okay, crazy. Okay, because
No.
I skipped by you before. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy lady. So, would you have any issues on the whole love thing, that you say I love you, they say I love you, and they don't reply?
Um, I don't know. I guess it don't wouldn't bother me because I don't want you to say it unless you mean it, But yeah, I'm usually not the first one to say it though either. So
Okay. All right, that's fair. Okay. Ziller.
Okay, now you got a point. Now I can talk. This this has totally changed my opinion on this situation. The months, the timeline. Now this is totally different story. Um, yes. And Crazy Lady just brought up a good point. I I'm usually not the person that says it, and that is concerning to me because I'm like, ugh. This is a and also Sheila Will also brought up a good point too. They always say it 2 seconds into the dating process, Red flag, I'm done. Goodbye. See you later. Next person, next. And that that was way when I was dating. I was like, no, I'm done. But luckily, I didn't have to do that. But like Bahram said, it has to deal with time all the way. It has to get to a certain point, and that's what I agree. That's what I agree with Chill Will and Bahram as well. So it
Okay.
comes with time as well, not and dedication. There you go. I add dedication to Chilwell and Baram to that.
Okay. All right. And Katisha, thank you for joining the show and thank you for being patient. You now have the mic.
I listen, right? So, like to me is the love junior. It's like they gave stipulations to love, so that's why they gave you like. You're supposed to love everybody like yourself. That's what the good history book, the Bible says, right? So, love is what it is. Of course, I love you, but when you're in a relationship, it's in love that takes the next step to your relationship, not love. Love is what you do for everybody. That's something that's a general thing. That's like human rule. You know what I'm saying? You love everybody because this is somebody that you want to see prosper just like you, or you see yourself in this person, or whatever it is. You don't want to sit down and say, I like you today, because then that means to tell me that today you got stipulations on how you feel about me. So you don't love me like you did yesterday. So you just like me today. I don't feel like, now when you say I'm in love, I'm falling in love, that's a different step to love. That's when it goes to more so of a relationship. Like, I can't say that I like it. Hell, I don't even like me sometimes. I mean, why would I say like? That's not something that I use in my home. I don't use that with my kids either.
You bring up some interesting points. So when you say in love, then if someone said to you, whenever, however long in the relationship, I'm in love with you, um, so how long would it take you to say it back? Okay, no, let me change it. You say it to them. How soon would you
Now,
want them to reciprocate back to you that they're in love with you?
I'm not. My feelings are my feelings. I'm gonna let you take your time and go about your steps the way you do, and I take my time. However it goes, I'm not gonna be mad. Hell, I've been married. I done dated in relationships, and yes, I've been through certain things to where I've probably forced something on somebody. But right now, if that came about, I've learned my lesson from 3 relationships ago. That's not what's supposed to happen, because I didn't want it to happen to me, and I'm not gonna do it to my partner either.
Well, I find I find it interesting what you say about the word like because I mean the word like is used a lot. I use it a lot. I like you. I like this person, whatever. But don't you think like has to be in there because there are some people that you don't like. So of course, you're not going to love everyone. And when I say love, I mean
Right. I
you.
mean, we don't like serial killers and we don't like all those things, but still, yet those serial killers had kids. Rapists have children. You know what I'm saying? I got to stand in the mirror every day and look at my father and say that I still love that man, but I don't like him. I have stipulations on him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you can't just totally ban the word like
I
from.
like, yeah, I'm not saying I ban it, but I'm saying like is something that had a word that has stipulations on it for people. Genuinely, you say I like you. When you say I like you, that doesn't mean you got to have more feelings for me. I can like you and not. I could like you and not want to do anything with you. I could like you and not be around you.
True. Very okay. Okay. Very good points. All right. All right. I'm gonna pass the mic to Chill. What do you think about what Katisha said? She made some very interesting points. And
Well,
Katisha, I'm just gonna mute your mic. Okay, go ahead, Chill.
something else I meant to mention is I don't even someone tells me that I'll stop. If I think it's too early, I'll let them know, like, listen, I'm glad you feel that way. I'm not saying I don't, but I don't want to get in the habit of doing that because I feel like it's premature for me to be starting that. And I'm still learning if that person, certain things people put out there and they use as a tool. So if you don't say it one time, if you get in the habit of saying certain things or doing certain things, oh, you ain't said today. So what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to learn your intent. If it's early, who you type of person you are. Are you here for the authenticity of it, or because hey, you're a single man, looks like you're a good father, or you got a good job, you're making money. Like you got to weed these people out because you don't know what it looks like at first. I mean, sometimes you don't. It's easy for some people. Other people are a little bit more complex and complicated. So you trying to figure out who they are. So you don't want to do things of that level too soon. And so that's something I try to just steer away from. I'll let them know that too, and so they won't take any offense by it, and so they know that not to just start doing that. Now they should say, it's cool. I'm being me. Like I'm that way. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect anything. I would like it, but I wouldn't expect it. And I'm kind of like, sorry, Katisha, not right. But overall, I mean, as far as the liking, I mean, you can love. Listen, you can love somebody and not be with them. You know what I mean? I've done that. If you can love yourself first, right? Toxicity is the real thing. So you can you can love a bunch of people and not even want to be around them, but I can like you and love you, and you still and not be around you because you're just that toxic. Like because it's just like, hey, this person they're great to be around, but what they're into, I can't be a part of. We always argue, but then we make great, and then we have good times in this area. So it's time, and you just got to be able to make sure that if for me it's authentic, that we're saying it for the right reasons and we're in it for the right reasons, and normally that just comes along. That just develops. You don't have to push it or.
Okay. All right. Bob, you want to change your view after what Katisha said? 'Cause she brought up some good points, and from what Jill said.
Sorry, could you summarize? I actually had to nip away while Katisha was talking. I'm sorry. I did catch the whole like thing, but what was
So
it?
no, I'm asking you, do you want to change your view after what Katisha and Jill just said about the whole light thing? And then
On
she
what? What was it?
Well, hold on,
Sorry,
really, 'cause I'm
to nip
sorry. I
away.
don't, I don't want to review everything, but hold on.
Yeah,
Katisha, can you just give him a quick rundown on your whole
yeah.
light thing?
Like is the stipulated word of love. I'm not gonna admit immediately like, oh, I love you, I love you, I'm not gonna do that. Listen, it progresses, and as time progresses, I will tell that person, my partner, somebody that I'm with in a relationship. Yes, I'm gonna tell them I love them, but it's gonna take time for me to say that. I'm not gonna automatically say that. I'm not gonna even tell him I like him. He's gonna see that I like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whoever. That's just my thing. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I love you, like today. That's not happening. I'm gonna give him the same
mhm.
conversation that I'm giving you guys. This is like a stipulated word to me. Like it's stipulated. Like my kids be like, and I'm like, yes, no, don't like it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, don't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But like to me seems so it's a stipulated word because you get to push off when you want and push on when it comes down to emotional with people, you know what I'm saying? Mentally and emotionally, it
Mhm.
tends to have its own, like I said, stipulations. Today I don't like you. Tomorrow I might like you. I don't like you because your hair is green today, but I love you. But today you're gonna tell me you don't like me because my hair is green, but you still love me. That's not what you do. I mean, it's just
Okay.
such a stipulated word to me.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Bob,
No,
do you want to
yeah.
respond to that?
I actually think the terms like actually vocalizing it is uh, it's irrelevant. I think you'll know like Katisha says, you'll feel it when the person loves you or not. And even sometimes when you say for the first time I love you, some people might just say it out of pressure, or they maybe feel good in the moment and they say it, but do they actually love them? And to be honest, like I said, I don't think it matters. And that's why I kind of said as well, as long as you have that chat, and you know that it's going somewhere, and one of you isn't having ulterior motives, and they're just they have no intention of staying with you, meanwhile they're stringing you along, and you love them, and then it's not equal and it's not fair. So I still stand by what I said. If I felt that I was giving 100% and the other person wasn't, or that they were just saying like, but they were like I said, you can feel it. So I don't think waiting for the word would make my mind up on it. It would just be that you would feel that it wasn't going anywhere, and and that would probably make my decision a lot easier.
Okay. Crazy lady? Are you there? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
hold on
about to
for just a
pass.
second.
Okay. Okay, Crazy, I'm going to go to Ziller and then I'll come back to you. So Ziller?
Well, I got a different prospect of this. Huge. What? What's funny?
No, go on, go on.
Well, what we have to have the like in this because what about I like your shoes. I like this. I like this. But we don't have to have the like out of the conversation and relationship. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not total a bad situation. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not a terrible thing. I mean, I see it as a good thing. It's not a bad effect. It doesn't. I mean, as long as it doesn't get out of chaos, it's great. I see it as. I mean, I mean, I don't see anything. I don't see how you take it out of a relationship or take it out entirely. In my view,
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm the doubt. I'm the one that takes out. I'm the bummer guy. But
No,
I'm the
no,
one.
no, no, no. I mean, what I initially started laughing because I think that Katisha brought up some really good points, and I think that it kind of it changed the way the topic was going, which is a good thing. So that's why I was kind of laughing because it kind of changed things. So I mean, Ziller, I mean, you feel the way you feel. I mean, you know, I think, I mean, like is part of our everyday, I mean, this is what we say, like you say, I like this, I don't like this, I like you, I don't like you. So,
I
it
mean,
is, I mean, it's a relative word.
I'll say, girl, I don't like you one damn bit this morning. You are hating on me 100%. You put me in a damn bad mood. Get out of my way. I'm going to play basketball. Move out of the way. I'll see you later. Then we can make up. See you later. I mean, sorry to be a bummer, but I like the like word. It could be
Okay.
it could be beneficial and it can be in bummer mode. That's my.
Okay. Crazy lady, are you back?
Yeah, it's like, sometimes I don't know, man. It's like I may love a person, but at the moment I maybe hate what they're doing or not like the way they're acting. It's like I told my husband, man, dude, I love you, but right now you are not my most favorite person in the world. You know. So I mean, but yeah, some people, I don't know. It seems like they're easier to fall in love with, or fall in love with other people, and other people it like takes them a minute, because of excess baggage from previous relationships.
Okay. Okay. All right. And before we go on, I just want to say, Frankie, thank you very much for the golden beans and for the super chat. Thank you. Okay, Katisha, you have the mic, but I want to ask you a question. How much level of affection do you give the word like?
Mm, for food.
For, I mean,
I don't.
just how
I
much
mean,
level of
it's
affection do you
there.
give the word like?
It's there, but it's not okay. So yeah, it's for material things for me, maybe like she said, like you said, shoes, um, and negativity. You know what I'm saying? I don't give like that much credit because it's not a daily. It's not something that I feel like should be used in the vocabulary with your significant other. Now, when me and my significant other are together and we're growing, um, I'm very bad. I'm bashful with the word like saying it because of my own trauma. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I don't say love immediately. That takes me time too. And I won't even get there to say that up front. I have to find other words and like is not one of them.
So, what do you use in? what do you use in its place? Because the only way I can say it is just to say it. So if you like this person and you enjoy spending time with them, what are you going to use in place of the word like?
Look, I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? It has to be because I don't know. I'm not when I'm always the one to say like and love. Like and love has gotten me into a lot of trouble. I like some people and they got me into trouble. Love got my heart broken. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I've been single for like 5, 6 years. I don't want to be with nobody to have any love with or like. I don't want to have to like anybody. I don't want nobody like me right now either, or love me. I have 3 children that I'm raising, and that's my main focus. I had my heart broke, and that's just it for me.
But it is possible to be in a relationship where you don't have to love that person. It's easy to be in a relationship where you all just spend time together, and then that's it. You go home, they go home, and you go about your business, and that's it.
I won't do that either. Um, I mean, like I said, I got a lot of trauma. You heard what I said about my dad. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
invite people in my home with my kids like that. No man sleeps with me. I got things that suck to my shower wall, honey. I'm fine.
Okay. All right.
I mean, and I get listen. I've had dug somebody, and somebody's had put it out there that they wanted to date me, but I'm just not the dateable type. I don't want to date anybody right now. I just want to raise my children. And that's just my main focus. As a child, I grew up without my mother, and I wanted to do everything for my kids that my mother didn't do for me. So that was my goal once I left my husband. My husband, I'm still married to. We're separated. Um, he's the perfect guy. We just weren't fit for each other as husband and wife, you know?
So I take it you're not giving out any keys anytime soon.
Oh no, I don't even
Okay.
use a key. I push numbers on my door.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. All right. Chill. What do you think about once again what Katisha has said? You there, Chill?
Yeah, my bad. I'm here. I had to change my little headphones. All right, cool. Um, see, to some degree, what Katisha said, I agree wholeheartedly about as far as how from everywhere standing to yourself. You feel like you're not ready. Raising your kids, that's your goal. But I would say to her, that's an awesome thing. But don't give up in general and on life and people because they can surprise you. But overall, the word like is obviously I gotta put that in my listen. I know what she means by the being bashful and saying it, especially when it references showing affection. So that's what I think she's getting at. I'm not gonna tell the person I like them. If somebody tells me they love me, I might not say it back, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, hey, yeah, I like you. It's kind of a slap in the face. You know what I mean? So that's what I had a conversation like, can we have a conversation? I don't want to start doing that. It's too early. I'll say that. Sometimes those hard conversations have to be had, and I'll let a person know, like, I ain't ready for doing all that. This has been a week. You know what I mean? And that's why I try to refrain from even just like the actual real intimacy. You get older, like I don't even talk about sex. I don't even think about it. I just need to know if I can be around your ass first. First of all, at this point, like for real, like I'm just tired, so I need to know if we vibe. Can we laugh in the room together
Oh
for a whole
goodness.
day or two? Can I be around you for a week? And not you not. I don't feel like I want to pull my hair out. Those are the things that are important initially. Now we are grown and we don't have our desires and want to get things out the way. That's fine, but initially I'm not even looking for that because you can get the cutest thing in the world and that bitch just be trash in bed. So you just setting yourself up. So I just need to vibe because typically when you vibing, all that's going to come is going to be great.
All right, Bob. You have any comments to that?
Not really. No. I'm not, I agree with everything that's been said. I just don't know where else I can take it.
That's because we're not talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I could add, like, what Katisha was saying. That's very, admirable of her stance, and I think that makes me think about, how the world has become in the dating scene. People, not, the divorce rate has gone down, and people don't stay with each other as much anymore, and you see a lot on social media, which is why I came off of Facebook back in the day, because all you see is women and sometimes even men complaining about, oh, where are all the good men, and it's probably because we've become too easy. We're laying our hearts on our sleeve too quick, and sleeping around and having fun, and that has consequences. So to hear, Katisha say that she is, focusing on her kids, and not willing to, just accept second best, and all that's a good stance to take. Yeah, that's admirable. So I would always say that to people: date people. Don't just fall into bed on the first or second date, because no man wants that. And as much as he says he does, make him work for it, and build a foundation before you start getting into those types of things. I think that's a huge problem in society today, especially with the young ones and these dating apps. It's all too easy, and feelings get hurt, and trust needs to be built up again. So yeah, it was good to hear Katisha say that.
Okay, I just want to read two of the comments here. Frankie says some people can't stand to be around each other. And Jester says relationships are a personal preference and choice, but we can't let our past define our future. That's true. But unfortunately, some people, they do have that baggage that they carry, and it's hard for them uh, to get past that. And Chill is saying, good point. Good point to Frankie. Good point to Jester, or both of them. Or
I was saying good point to Jester, because that's the thing I live by. Like I always tell people, like, because but it's hard. It's easier said than done, especially when we've been through something that is either traumatic or just rubs in a certain type of way, and that's our battle. You know what I'm saying? And to be scoring again is like, damn, I should have just listened to my instincts. So when is it your instincts, or when is it you just being, you know, paranoid or over, whatever. So we all have that battle when we come to certain things that are sensitive to us. So I mean, it's easier said than done. I try to practice it as much as I can, but I understand when people be like, the hell with it, I'm just not gonna risk it, because this is, you got things going on. You got family, you got life, you got, it's not worth it. Especially depending on what time, what point in time in life you are, you just don't have the energy to be going through all of that. So
okay, all right. And Crazy Lady, you have the mic, and I wanted to tell Juju thank you very much for the pod bean. So, Crazy Lady, you have the mic.
Yeah. See, I'm like, I don't throw away that love word around a lot, because I don't know, it just actions speak louder than words, has always been my philosophy. You know, you can say you love me all day long, don't mean you're gonna, that in reality.
Okay, all right. So again, my last question, because I'm going to be wrapping this show up early today. Like versus love. Okay, there's affection that comes with both words, and of course, love would have the probably more affection than like. Katisha brought up a good point about being in love as opposed to loving someone. Um, how do those words differ to you? So that's my last question that I will ask. How do those words or phrase differ to you? Like, I like you, I love you, I'm in love with you. Chill.
I like you, I love you, I'm in love with you. That's kind of like how, it sounds like the coworker, the neighbor, and the girlfriend and the wife, or the cousin. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it relates. You know, in reference to relationships. It's just, all right, I meet you, I like you at first. I don't really know you that well, so I like you. I mean, I can still love you as a person, like you said, but just being like actually in love with somebody is definitely different. You feel like there's something that you want to be around, get to, you want to take care of, look out for it, and all that jazz. So, that's a different type of level opposed to just like somebody. I mean, I like a lot of people that don't agree with them, or one way don't want to be around them. It's the same thing with, I guess, love too. But yeah, it's levels of it. It's just, I feel like that explains, like I said, the coworker, the neighbor, the stranger, the girlfriend, things of that nature.
Okay. Jester says like is intimate. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Love is grown, but I've been in like plenty of times. So, bah, I like you. I love you. I'm in love with you.
That I would tend to favour other terms than these words, and it's the first time I've actually thought about this. While Will was answering, I was thinking more along the lines of hearing words like "I'm comfortable with you," or "I want to be with you," or "I want to marry you," or "I want to have kids with you." Those terms, obviously, after a long period of time, would be more what I would like to hear, because it has made me think. When you can love someone, but you cannot necessarily like them at certain times, and vice versa. You can like someone and love who they are. So those terms are very interchangeable. But you know, um, ultimately, I look for comfort. Comfort in a partner, in trust, and knowing that you both are headed in the same direction, and you both love spending time together, and all that other stuff. That for me is the important stuff, and that's why I don't put so much emphasis on the words love and like. Yes, at the start, when we're all bubbly and giddy, and we're all excited in the honeymoon period, you like to hear them. They're comforting, and it gives you that warm feeling. But when you after all that's over, you want to know that you're committed, and that you're going in the same direction. So I would tend to favor those terms more.
Okay. All right. And just so you know, I don't know if you saw the love here that Jester is throwing your way. Bahram, I'm in like with you. So.
I'm in like with you too, Jester.
All right. So, um, does anyone else have anything they want to say, or chill? Because I'm wrapping it up, doing my last thing. You have any 5 cents, 2 cents you want to add before we end the show?
I just realized that the panel had been going. Most of the panel left, so that's why you came to me so early. But I appreciate everybody once again. You know, um, I think like love and all that is kind of the same, but I feel like when you show that, you get it in return. You just gotta be careful of people's intent and which they that's my biggest thing when it comes to stuff like that. If it's too early or anybody, I'm kind of skeptical. So if it's too early, it's a red flag, and I'm trying to figure out what's your intentions. And sometimes it can be literally like that, especially if you have sex early with somebody. That can open up a whole Pandora's box. So I get that as well, but I don't take it for granted. Nonetheless, I try not to, and it's kind of like keep love and like.
Okay. Bah, last words.
Just love the show again as always, and it's good to have these shows and lightheartedness and all that. But um, I don't know. Actually, I'll just thank you, and have a great weekend, everyone. And that's it.
Okay. Um, thank you both for coming on, and thank you to Katisha, Ziller, and Crazy Lady for coming on the panel. Jester says one last thing: don't do the hanky panky on on the first date. So, all right, so guys, I am having a show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I have already posted it. So again, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And as I always say, speak your truth, go where the wind takes you. And I hope to see you tomorrow evening. Bye. Don't do the hanky panky on the first date. Oh, how many millions of people will you have to tell that to, Jester? Millions of people. So thank you, Jester, for coming on. Mr. T, Crystal Man, Juju, the only crazy lady, Chill Will. Frankie, thank you. I appreciate your input in the chat.
See y'all.
Bye bye, Chill. So thank you, everyone. And I'm just going to groove to the music until it ends. Unless anybody else wants to say something. And goodbye, Shy Lady. I hope you guys like my music because I really like my music. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye.